from the Naqshbandi order, the immensity of energy, and that energy is achieved through the sound. Our life is about how to raise our vibration in a world in which everything around us is literally trying to lower the vibration. This vibration that we have is our protection. Physical and spiritual protection is based on the shield of energy that we naturally emit around ourselves. Even the earth itself has a shield of energy, what they call I think the Van Allen belt. I think 60,000 miles of radiation around the earth to shield it like an impenetrable wall. And as we are a replica of the earth, we're a symbol of that reality that everyone has their own earth just themselves. Where Allah I'll show you the signs upon the horizon and within yourselves. The spiritual paths come to teach the importance of energy, to transcend certain dogma and words that people may have confusion about and go towards the equal denominator. The equal denominator in all practices, all religions comes down to energy. If you're building it, congratulations. If you're losing it, you need to seek help. So tariqas and Sufism is their science, is energy. That how to build your energy, how to build your vibration to protect yourself against sickness, to protect yourself against every type of negative attack, and all documented with science. Even the simple fact of turning on your microwave at home, you're under attack because the megahertz and the energies that are coming out, they're not good for the cellular function and brain function of humans. Nothing against microwave companies, but as an example that… As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans: Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Everything in the house, because we wanted it to be electronic and because we wanted all these technologies, they're all sending vibrations everywhere. If you wear your earplugs or earpods, it's cooking your head every time the phone is sending a signal to it. So scientifically they know everybody's being bombarded with negative energies. If negativity accomplishes the ability to lower our frequency low enough, you lose hope. You lose your God-given ability to protect yourself, to be positive, where people become depressed and hopeless. Because the shield of energy that when it drops, good God, you're under attack by immense negative energies. And that's why a lot of spiritual people like sci-fi movies, because you see a lot of, oh, I understand this. That if you don't have a shield coming up, what happens? All of the orcs and creatures are trying to attack. And because we don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. There's so many creatures in our existence, so many waves in our existence, many and most of which we don't see. You turn the signal on the TV, that's infrared red. So there's a signal that comes that moves that channel. So just because you don't see it, you don't say, "Shaykh, I don't believe you." Everything around us you don't see it anymore. What is the Bluetooth signal that comes? What frequency is that? What effect does it have? So it means everything is an energy. So everything begins to affect us to become more and more negative. Why? Because anything deficient of positive becomes negative. If I pull the positive from you, the default is you'll become negative because you don't default to positive, it just doesn't keep flowing into you. So if we pull the positive from you and deplete you of a positive charge, you're worse than the Tesla. Well, they found as soon as the Tesla had no charge, you couldn't even tow it. At least with the other engines you could push it down the street. Now you're stuck. It's symbolic. God gives us a sign, say, yeah, you're worse than that. If you let your energy drop, nobody can move you, what they call depression and anxieties. Nothing seems to matter, nothing seems to be important. It's the deficiency of energy with everything around us. So it's not going to recharge ourselves just because we want it to be recharged, but there's a system in which to recharge the battery. Recharging, and the battery for human beings is their soul. Once they understand, I have an energy being, at about 100 days within the womb an energy being enters and a beat within the heart is moving. And when I die from this world, that energy being gone. You can take the body, put it in the dirt, but the law of energy is it's never destroyed. And this energy collected all of its experiences, and it was to come onto this earth to raise its frequency because it came from very high abode, and it came upon the earth for a spiritual experience, for a physical experience that will enlift and raise its spiritual reality. So we're spiritual beings sent for a physical experience that will raise our spiritual frequency if we do it right. If we fail the test, we become overwhelmed with negativity and we're lost. And we enter into the desert of being lost for eternity. So our life is about raising the frequency. Whoever thinks they can raise their frequency, more power to you. And if you can't, you seek out the people who work with energy and how to teach the energy. So one of the greatest gifts that God gives to us is your breathing and your chanting. Feeding the body is good for your belly, but feeding your soul requires a different sustenance. So those whom contemplate and meditate, God gave them a power source free everywhere. And they say that there were people whom once lived on this earth and they knew that reality because they used to make everything with copper, right? They would put copper lines up and pull the energy that was in the air. It was free. When they plant, they put copper wires. Their pots and dishes have copper. Why? Antimicrobial and antibacterial, because energy comes into it. The energy in your body is related to the copper within your brain. Everything of these realities used to exist, but now nobody talks about it. It's been depleted and fell apart. And then everybody's anxious and depressed, there's no energy, no himma, what we say, no zeal to do anything. What God gave us, it's very easy, very free, the energy's all around you. So then you breathe, contemplate, tafakkur and meditate. That when you sit by yourself and try to meditate and contemplate and asking God, please send an energy to me, my energy is deficient. Everything around me has been pulling my energy. Then we see the wisdom and the hikmah of the prophetic way was then the reality of water. Wash off and burn the negative energy. Because if you're going to sit and meditate you have to be clean first, because you can't meditate with negativity. So wash it, wash. Water becomes your best friend. And then the Prophet describes, if there's no water, use clean sand. Oh, and they found out now that sand neutralizes energy and a deep reality of ourselves. So even just the use of sand, if you can't get to water, just to neutralize any type of bad energy. But the main reality is that you wash and begin to meditate and breathe. And asking the Divine, I need to connect your power sources that exist in every single atom of creation. And as soon as we breathe we call nafas ar-rahmah, the breath of the Most Merciful. Because as soon as we breathe with a conscious understanding that I want from your Divinely lights and grace to begin to dress me. And as soon as they breathe they bring in the mercy of God within their heart, their breath. That dresses their blood, that dresses the iron within their system and nourishes their lungs and their heart. Because your lungs will take the breath, bring all of its purities, you'll exhale its impurities, and the benefit, the light and the nazma will go to the heart. And that energy dresses the heart, stamped upon the blood and nourishes all the organs. And when they take a life of breathing, contemplating, they begin to train themselves, not only receive the breath, receive the energy, receive the qudrah, slow your life down. Because the people who meditate they begin to slow the process down. That what is everything for? You know, are you building castles in the sand? And has anybody come to you and told you that, hey, you're building castles in the sand because nobody stays here. You can build as elaborate as you want, but the tide comes, the castle's gone. Means we have a limited time. It's not about conquering this abode, but to build the castle in the eternal abode. So then they inspire people, because other people absolutely don't care what I'm talking about. But those whom the Divine inspires, they have a hunger and they have to eat only that reality. So they search for it, search for it, search for it until it begins to quench that hunger. No, that's what I want. I want that sustenance. My soul is bringing me to receive that sustenance. I have to learn how to breathe, I have to learn how to connect to energy, and because of the overwhelming tide of negativity, I need a representation. You know, the cable is everywhere, available for everyone. But unless you know how to hotwire the signal, it's difficult to get cable. So you call the cable company, right? It's everywhere. Usually everyone's have it, why you don't have it? Because you have to call the cable company. They put a little bit of equipment, they adjust things and they bring the connection so that you can receive this divine grace we call faiz. This is the role of the shaykhs and the guides, is that in an overwhelming tide of negativity that I haven't yet reached that grace, I haven't been able to connect to that grace, the role of the shaykh and the guide is what? Is a cable guy. That he comes and by the mere presence and by the teachings begins to push away the negativity and begin to teach you how to make a connection to your own reality. Because everybody has a reality connected. That's why God gave us a belly button. Don't think you came from nowhere, I put a symbol right on your stomach. How you were attached to your mom, you're eternally attached to the Divine. And everybody came with that symbol and the sign for themselves that you're not something not remembered. You're not something disattached that you can do whatever you want, you can't do anything that you want. It's all by the permission of the Divine. So then they learned, they breathed, they accompanied the guides, they understood, they watched and educated themselves based on energy and realities. And as a result they learned how to breathe, they learned how to meditate, and they learned how to keep the connection with the guides so that their energy would be around them and help them. Because in the world of energy you don't want to be alone with things that you don't understand. So many people would come and say that, okay, I'm going to start just meditating but I don't know what else you're talking about and I'm just going to call on every energy, but they don't know who entered that room with them. So, Shaykh, I don't know what I was doing but I thought it was okay at first and then it became very negative. I felt an enormous sort of scary presence. It's because you don't get in your car and go all the way down to the worst part of the neighbourhood, open your doors and say, I want to find something, because many things will come into your car that you didn't ask for. So even in spirituality there's a discipline that since I can't see but I want to connect with the unseen, and if you're a guide that can see, I want information from you. So that when I close my eyes and meditate, I want to make sure you're spiritually there with me because you can see what's trying to come into the room. Then they give you the recitations, the whole practice, the whole science of what? Close your eyes, make sure that the shaykhs are with you, so that the third is not something nefarious coming into the room. And as a result they learn how to breathe, they learn how to bring energy, they learn how to do their practices, and they begin the process of meditation and breathing and energy. And then the guides begin to teach them that once you made this connection, understood you have to breathe in this power and understood you have to make your soul to be strong. So then the science is now coming and teaching with the quantum physics, told everybody what? That for everything to manifest it's a light, and for that light to be manifesting it's a sound, it's an energy. That sound is manifesting, the energy is manifesting by sound. So the sound that you produce is going to affect what is manifesting of your light. If I lower your sound, your light becomes very dark. So that's why you see all the negative songs. We live in a time where what's on the radio I don't think has ever been as negative as it is now. Most of the words were completely forbidden. You could never say that on a channel that goes out to the public. Why is it happening? To lower your vibration. If enough people are attacked with low vibrations, enough people think that that's the norm. It's okay, let's make everything negative, it doesn't matter because they're all dropping down in their vibration. Then the sounds that are being produced begin to destroy their energy, destroy their entire being and destroy their protection. So then what God gave to us again is then go out and chant, make your recitations and chant. As you're chanting you're raising the frequency, You raise your frequency to an angelic and Divinely frequency, and that frequency begins to shatter all negativity, all negativity. That's why in the tariqas, because some people say, oh we went to other places, masjids, they don't do like that because they don't understand the reality of sound and they don't understand the reality of the power of vibrations and sound. But the tariqas know, the Sufi understanding knows, everything's based on sound. So when we praise and when we pray upon the prophetic reality, the Divinely reality, the prophetic reality, immense vibration is now happening on your cells. Positive energies are being called upon, positive energies are being asked for, are being dressed upon the soul and pushing away every type of negativity. It's the law of energy. If you call upon positive, it pushes away negative. If you go to positive associations, they pull away the negative charge off of people. If I go to a negative association, they take my positive charge. So anyone testing it, feel good, great, go to the mall. By the end of the day you come, your eyes are red because the negativity around pulls the energy. You come back completely depleted. You again shower, meditate and build yourself back and build your understanding back. This becomes a daily routine in our lives to meditate, to breathe, to have a mantra, chant and du'a that you're reciting. The salawats that we recite are immensely powerful and as a result they build their energy and they build their reality. So subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati Muhammad al Mustafa wa basiri Surat al Fatiha. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shaykh Nurjan. Thank you for watching the video that you're watching. Inshallah, if you're happy with the content and happy with these programs, please support the button below, the programs that we have for our orphanage repairs, our water well, Give the Gift of Life, our mobile food vans. We have now 5 vans, Vancouver, Chicago, Los Angeles, Pakistan. There's many programs that reach thousands of people and rescue foods and give those supplies to people in need. Your support is greatly appreciated. Also, be so kind as to leave loving comments and please share the stream. Every bit counts. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.